Hey there, I am back with another deck review, and today I'm going to be looking at the Bicycle Pixel Collector's Set from Mike over at 52Pixel Studios. Now, this is a Kickstarter deck that was inspired by the 8-bit pixel art from video games of the 1980s, and specifically the Nintendo Entertainment System. Has a really special place in my heart just because I can so vividly remember Christmas 1986 when I got my Nintendo. My brother and I sat down in front of the TV, killed ourselves in about 3 seconds to the very first Goomba on level 1-1 of Super Mario Brothers. And just sort of the rest is history. Years of fun with that console. And so to see a deck that was inspired by that, it was definitely something I had to have. So let's jump into it and find out how they did. Now, like I said, it's a collector's edition, so this is actually a 3-deck box set, but it comes in this really cool case here. We're going to explore it, but it's inspired and kind of meant to be reminiscent of an actual Nintendo console. So on the front here, you've got Pixel, and it's gold foiled, and then it also has this sort of gust of wind all done in 8-bit pixel art and surrounding it. So you've got that kind of light blue with the gold. You have the power button underneath, because like I said, this is designed to be like a console. It's even done in the font of the classic Nintendo there. And then on the side here, almost meant to look a little bit like the slot that you would put the game cartridge in. We've got 52 Pixel and designed by 52 Pixel Studio. And then made in the USA. These are printed by the USPCC. Other side over here has the 52 Pixel logo. And then nothing on the other sides other than just a little bit of ad copy here on the back. And then the way you open this, you can see it kind of slides out from the front here. So as you open it up, you get a chance to see the decks inside, and here they are. So you've got the red and the blue bicycle decks in here, and you can even see printed on the inner flaps here, the little red and blue pixel bicycle. But here are your red and blue decks, and there they are. So both of them are bicycle pixel cards. There's also a third deck that's kind of hidden in here. You'll see this extra little box when we put these off to the side. You'll see this extra little box in here that you can slide out, and it is the actual Nintendo controller, complete with a little kind of rope cord that's attaching it. So again, just like the original console, you've got the pixel styled controller here. Looks a lot like the original Nintendo controller, complete with the D-pad, the A and the B buttons. And then instead of select and start, you've got the red and the blue buttons. And 52 Pixel logo on the back. If you open it up, you'll see there is a third deck hiding inside. So there's your third pixel deck inside of the controller. So very, very cool collector's box setup for this. Love the homage that it pays to Nintendo there. So that is the box set. Well, let's look at the 3 decks of cards. So we're going to start with the 2, just sort of what I would call the regular ones over here, the red and the blue. They're both bicycle branded, very much kind of in keeping with the style of just a classic rider back deck. But obviously they've switched out with a lot more kind of pixelated art. On the red one, we've got bicycle cards pixel, and then same thing on the blue. Obviously a little bit color swap, but otherwise the same design. They both feature a red or a blue bicycle in the center. Going down the sides in pink or blue respectively, just got playing cards on both sides. The top just says, get this all the right way, just says standard on the top. And then the bottoms have your ad copy for 52 Pixel Studio and the United States Playing Card Company. So those are the 2 decks. The back's going to be the back design of the cards that we'll look at in a second. And you have one more 52 Pixel logo on the inner flap. More ad copy on the inside and nothing else printed on the decks. So those are the 2, the red and the blue tuck cases. But let's jump in and take a look at the cards next. And here they are. So starting with the back design, I'm going to try to keep these together and looking at the 2 decks together. But there they are. So they both feature just the same design, but color swapped. So you've got the red border and the blue border, and then the lighter coming out as pink and baby blue, forming this almost kind of a maze design with these sort of squiggles and just blocky images, all done obviously in 8-bit. You have the single dot in the center, which is back to that darker color. And then of course in the casino style back, you have the pixel bicycle on either side. So a really cool mix of the pixel style and of course bicycle cards represented on these. And it finishes out with that medium white poker border. So really cool design, very much still a functional design. Really like what they did with these. So that's those. We'll start now a little bit with the red deck and take a look at these. So starting with the extra cards you get a pair of jokers, obviously both featuring bicycles again, kind of a reflected image. It says Joker in the center. And then one of them's all in red. The other one's a little bit more monochromatic with the black and white look to it. So there's your two jokers. In addition, you get two extra cards. One's a pixeled image of Mike, the designer at 52Pixel Studio, with the 4 suits around him. It says Mike in the center, so you could use that, I guess, as a third joker. And then you have a duplicate King of Spades, or I should say a restyled, an alternate King of Spades. We'll see the original King of Spades in a moment, but you see this guy's smoking a cigar and he's got some glasses there, and you get a little bit of a hint of the pixel style that we're gonna see on the court cards. So there's your extra cards that you get. And then into the rest of the deck, starting with the Ace of Spades. Features the large spade pip, pixel bicycle in the center, and then the pips in the corners are also that pixel style. So you have the same index in the corner that you're used to, pretty standard, but then the pixelated spade pip. So very cool look to it. And you get those custom pips on all of the number cards as you go down. So still very readable with that standard pip in the corner, or standard index in the corner, but pretty easy to see pips. And then here are the court cards. So you get very classic style. It's the same Jack, Queen, King that you're used to in very similar poses, but obviously they've been swapped out with the pixelated images of themselves. You can still very much make them out, but kind of gives them that retro feel to them, very much in fitting with the rest of the deck. And then into the diamonds. So here are those, and we're gonna get more of the same. You know, you've got the pixel version of the diamond pip. Into the courts. There's the clubs. And down through the rest of the clubs. And through the hearts. So I really like what was done with the pixelated design. I will say, you know, if there's one small knock, it's that the spade and the pip, or the spade and the club are a little bit hard to distinguish. You know, if I'm looking at these side by side, at a glance, those can look pretty similar just because of how blocky it is. I think it's something that's a little bit hard to achieve, you know, with that pixelated image. You're always going to be a lot lower res naturally. So you do get a little bit of that, but otherwise, really cool design. Now jumping over to the blue, it is much the same, but again, everything's kind of sort of palette swap. So where we saw the red Joker, it's now a blue Joker, but the rest of the cards, other than changing the color of the bicycle, are pretty much the same. The courts are going to be the same in the blue deck. Everything else is going to be the same, right down to the same extra cards as before. So very much the same as you look at both the red and the blue decks. Now I'll clear this a little bit out of the way so we can take a look at the third deck, because you do get a few changes on the third deck. So this one, the silver, the gray version, is not bicycle branded like the other two. This one just has pixel with that kind of gust of wind logo going through. So get a little bit of a different feel here, non-branded, if you will. And then the sides are blank. You get a look at the back design of the cards, which is also going to be changed up a little bit. And same ad copy on the bottom. So a much plainer tuck case compared to the other two. And then 52 again there. And into the cards. Now the faces, or the backs of the cards rather, are going to be swapped, so no more bicycle on these. I get a little bit of a different design with that gray or silver. It's not a metallic ink or anything, so it's more just gray ink. And then you've got the two little yellow lines there in the middle just to kind of break it up a little bit. Personally, don't like this back design quite as much. I think it's a little bit of a boring back design compared to the other two. I really think the bicycle was needed to sort of add something a little bit interesting, but it's not bad, definitely in keeping with the theme. And then as you jump to the cards, jokers are going to be different. The bicycle has been removed in favor of that wind gust design that we've seen a few different times. So you've got the yellow and the gray joker. And the ace has also been swapped out. Again, no mention of the bicycle, and instead has kind of a surrounding aura with that pixelated design. Rest of the deck is pretty much the same as what we've looked at before. Quartz, everything, numbers, all of that's going to be the same. And again, right down to the same pair of gaff cards with the duplicate King of Spades or alternate King of Spades and the Mike card in the back. So that's the third one. As far as handling, these are all what you're used to with bicycle, maybe on the thinner side, but they're regular stock, and they handle, they fan all that really beautifully. So no complaints whatsoever in terms of cuts and fans and things like that. I mean, these are gonna handle really, really nicely in that frame. So no complaints at all on that front, but we're all kind of used to that from bicycle at this point. So that's it. That is the 3 decks from the Pixel Collectors set. Really cool set, definitely one I recommend checking out. You know, as it comes in a collector's box, it's probably meant more to be for collectors as opposed to, you know, magic or gameplay. That said, the deck itself is absolutely easily usable in any game. I mean, you're gonna break this out. I think it's gonna cause conversation. So if you wanted to use this deck, obviously it's great for that. It's in a collector's box, so you know, I know a lot of people are going to keep it sealed, but I think this is one you'll want to break open. It's a lot of fun. So great deck for me in terms of the nostalgia. Definitely a lot less highly customized than a lot of the decks I get, but for the nostalgia factor, I think is worth every bit. So hope you enjoyed that look at the Pixel Collectors set. Great set for me. I think you'll like it too. All right. Make sure that you subscribe for more deck reviews and unboxings in the future, and let me know what you want to see. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you for the next one.